Hey guys, Double Jack here, and I want to talk about the Eyes of Heaven preliminary tournament that just happened literally about 10 minutes ago for me, and I want to go in depth as well for a few things they talked about, which is pretty damn interesting. So, here we go. First of all, for the first round, we did indeed have President Valentine and Lisa take on Wham and Ndul. Of course, I've got my text here so I can remember every single part of it because I wrote quite a lot. Of course, when Lisa meets up with Wham, they have a unique chat, and the chat was basically for the fact that Lisa is like, you'll never be able to defeat me because I have Hammon and I have powers of Hammon that you could not understand, and Wham's just like, then try and take me on and stuff like that. Valentine, when he takes on the soul, he comes out and says that I will take your power of my own. Of course, it's not really related. From now on, I'm only going to go for the related ones because a lot of them were not related. But other than that, if there are kind of like related ones, I will talk about it. The winner of that match was Ndul and Wham. And I've got to say that as a big Valentine fan, that's a bit sad, but to be honest, I do love me my Wham, and Ndul is pretty cool, I've got to say, so fair game. They're into the next round. Next match is Will Zappelli and Koichi against Jonathan and Part 3 Dio. And it's really cool because I did not capture this because I was actually trying to figure out other stuff. But we also have Jonathan and Part 3 Dio have a unique chat, and it seems quite friendly for what they are. I mean, it seems very like around the rugby time, kind of how they talked, and it was pretty cool. Basically, we don't see a unique DHA dual heat attack between them, which is fair game. I didn't expect that. I thought maybe there might be a chance, but I didn't expect this. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But in the end, of course, Dio and Jonathan just destroyed them. They really did. In the third round, in B block, the first one of B block was actually Jotaro and Vinny Rice. Jesus Christ. Versus Yukako and Whole Horse. That's like, okay, Yukako and Whole Horse are pretty damn awesome, but fuck, you're up against shit. And basically, it's really cool because when you start the game, well, when you start the match, you have Yukako actually be like, you better get out of my way because I'm going to go where Koichi is and I'm going to be with my Koichi. And of course, Jotaro says to, he actually says to Yukako what he first says to his mum when she comes to visit him at the very beginning of Stardust Crusaders, and he's like, Yakamashi Konona! Basically, Konama. It's not very nice, but that's what he says. And it's like with the thing. Basically, there's a few other things that go around in it, but to be honest, it is the winner, Jotaro and Vanilla. They absolutely destroy, and it was really fun to watch. I was really happy with that. Next up, Iggy and Abdul. Oh my god, that's already good for the fact that, you know, Abdul brought Iggy there and he actually met him in New York. So, you know, it's meant to be. And they're taking on Jolene and Gyro. And be honest, yeah, I love me some Gyro. Jolene is a very sexy, very super strong female. And then we've got Iggy and Abdul, who is like awesome. They're both cool. And it's really cool because they start off and Abdul's like, when I found you, you are merely a mutt, but now we can fight alongside each other. And then he's like, oh, why do we have to fight? You're so stupid. Why do I have to be with you? And it's like, yes! So they got a unique attack. But they don't have a unique dual heat attack. I just want to say that. I mean, that was pretty cool. But in the match, we actually see Death 13 appear. And Death 13 being voiced by Pikachu and Tony Jobber, has a completely different voice, and I was like, I like this, I do like it. It wasn't too feminine, it had this kind of like mysterious voice, like, I'm coming for you kind of deal, and it's like, yeah, that kind of fits the kind of silliness of it, considering that Manish Boy is a baby, and that's the kind of like ideal, you know, can you imagine if Death 13 was with like this really evil person? Like, imagine if Angelo had Death 13, I'm pretty sure that he would be last boss level, you know. Basically, in the end, we actually do see Gyro and Jolene win. Gyro and Jolene beat the shit out of them. We're going to move on to the next ones very quickly. I'm going to do this very quick. We have Fugo and Kakuin, which I renamed the Fringe Commanders, just because they've got, like, both have some epic fringe. Well, Kakuin's fringe will never be beaten. Against Cars and Pet Shop. This match made me actually want to play Pet Shop so bad in this game. Like, I want to main him. He looks so awesome in this game. Like, anything we've seen of him before, no. This shows the epicness. And it comes to the part when, of course, when we see the Pet Shop intro come in, you know it's the narrator. But then when we see Cars die later, you see Pet Shop, when he gets the, when he inherits the will, he goes, which he does when he finds, when he first finds Iggy underground in the series. He's like, And I was like, yes! Also, his attacks bloody well awesome. His dual hit attack, he doesn't have a unique dual hit attack, but his dual attack combo was so damn good. Loved it. But of course, in the end, Cars and Pet Shop won because Pet Shop just destroyed both of them. Love for that fucking bird. Next we have Joseph and Dio Part 1. The person who killed his grandfather teaming up with him. That's gotta be a bit weird. But I love the fact that, like, he's against Shigechi, he's against Caesar and Shigechi, and Joseph and Caesar. It's really cool because what Caesar says is the last thing he says about him and Joseph before he dies. And you're like, oh, it's so heartfelt. And then you've got Joseph who basically says the thing is like, the two phrases that I hate is doing effort, like showing your effort, and doing your best. It's like, you ruined it, you fuck. But when they're fighting and stuff like that, it goes on, and in the end, Dio, Part 1, and Joseph win. As in Joseph, when I'm talking about Joseph, I mean Part 2 Joseph, of course. Damn well awesome. Next match we have Speedwagon and Hermes versus Naranjo and Diego. And it's really funny, I want to say one thing. It's the fact that everybody basically, when I'm talking about everyone there were just shitting on Naranjo, and they were like, we want him to do his best, but he was shit in that match. And basically, Speedwagon and Hermes versus Naranjo and Diego, and Diego as in Scary Monsters Diego, and it was pretty damn cool. And I remember one part which made me laugh, where Speedwagon was about to do his ultimate attack, his great heat attack, and he actually had one of his followers behind him. I don't know if it was Tattoo or the other one, but I think it was Tattoo. And it's really funny because he was close to a hill, and so you just see him go and spam behind him, and that made me laugh so much. But in the end, Naranjo and Diego won. That was pretty damn awesome. Next up, we have Stroheim and Okuyasu versus Mariah and AC/DC. That was a pretty cool match. Actually, that was probably the one they showed a little bit more than normal because there was too many cuts, and I thought it was pretty damn awesome. But in the end, of course, AC/DC and Mariah just destroyed them. Metal and fire. Magnetized metal and fire. That's bloody well destructive. That's one page over. We have the next. This is the second block they did. So they did like a little kind of rest where they talked about it and they said, okay, these characters are here, these characters are here. But now we're going to move on to the next box. We're going to go to C and D now, and we had Weather and Weather Report and Kawajiri versus Ishioto and Pucci. Otoshi. What did I write? Ishioto. Otoshi. Sorry. And it was really cool because Weather and Pucci actually had a unique chat, but at the very time I got a phone call and I couldn't record it. I'm so sorry. I say record, I couldn't figure it out because I was on the phone. I was like, yeah, okay, alright. You know, alright! You know, I was like that, love me my JoJo. But it's pretty cool they have that, but in the end, of course, the winners were Weather and Kawajiri. Yes, we get to see more of Weather, that's so damn awesome. We now move on to Polnareff and Rohan versus Mr. and Giorno. Mr. and Giorno are already a team, already have everything, awesome. And it starts with a nice intro where Mr. basically says, Mr. He's like, I hate 4 gives me bad luck, but you, Johnny, you give me good luck, so hold my gun, we're going to have some good luck. He's like, I give you good luck. And we actually get to see their unique dual heat attack, but guess what? It's cut in the center. We basically get a and then we see like Giorno appear and go murder, and then it just cuts. He's like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. But I understand because, to be brutally honest, I'm the kind of person that when I pick up the game, I want to see that stuff. I really want to do it. In the end, basically, Mr. and Giorno won, so we've got an actual dual team going forth. That's pretty damn awesome. Next match is the last match today. Yes, I'll explain why later, but basically, Johnny and Josuke, as in Diamond is Unbreakable Josuke, we haven't seen Part 8 Josuke yet, versus Old Joseph and Kira. And this match started off just amazing, because I didn't think about it at first. I was just like, oh my god, I definitely want to see this. Josuke Part 4 against actual Kira. Awesome. Johnny and Josuke Part 4. Josuke Part 4, as in, well, Higashikata Josuke, he can actually heal Johnny's legs and make him not crippled. That's so good. If that happens in the game, I will blow my shit. That doesn't make sense. Also, that sounds horrible, so please forget that. Anyway, basically, it's really cool because it starts off with Josuke Part 2. Josuke Part 4, sorry. He comes up and he basically sees old Joseph. And it's really cool because he goes, that guy, he looks, he's over 190 centimeters. He's pretty tall, damn. And then you have Part 2 Joseph reply to him and say, more of these Japanese youth Yankee types who think they're so hard. And then they go into battle and I was like, yes, because that is the cool thing. I wanted that so bad in All-Star Battle, and we never got anything as close to awesome as that. I loved it. Then we go into the battle, and then we actually have Josuke. This is the really sad thing. We get the fact that Part 3, old Joseph, basically says, what's wrong with your hair? It looks so outdated and stupid. And Josuke goes, what did you say about my... And he gets KO'd. And that's like, he's KO'd. But in the end, we actually learned that old Joseph and Kira win. So to talk about that, we have 2 Josephs that have made it to the next round. We also have a number of Dios. And I've got to say, that was pretty damn cool. I really enjoyed this, to be honest, because I would say I probably enjoyed the All-Star Battle one more. Like viewing it, but I'm loving this more, that there's more like content, so that's pretty cool. Of course, first of all, at the very beginning, they showed the second digest video, which I will translate and sub for you. I saw it when I went to the cafe, and it was at a time where I couldn't take any pictures or anything because my phone was dead. And also, I was quite embarrassed just standing there for about 4 minutes. But, oh my god, yeah. Also for the fact that I wanted a proper HD version. Because I know people are putting it up all over the web in, like, subpar, like, filming. And I want to do it properly with translations and subs by me. Not only that, but it's really cool notes that I picked up on. First of all, of course, why people are like, oh, why is the Diego the World and Part 4 Johto not being shown against the enemy this week. It's coming in 2 weeks on the November 11th, the 21st, which is a Saturday. Like I said, 2 weeks. We will be seeing that as the first match as the next lot. So that means that possibly I think we're going to get some Josuke because... I mean, yeah, Bucciarati and Diavolo will probably be in there, but this is 2 weeks from now. This isn't next week when we already know the news. This is 2 weeks. So I'm very like, okay, I want to see more about this. This is very interesting. Not only that, is the fact that it was one out of the blue note, which is really interesting that I was like, I never thought about it. It's really interesting. You need to know is the fact that if you're in the Joestar Mansion, when it catches on fire, if you're playing as Kira or you're against Kira and they use sheer heart attack, it doesn't work because it constantly goes to the fire. Of course, if it's not on fire at the time, yeah, it's going to come towards you and do some damage. But if it's on fire, you can actually you're safe. You are safe as balls. So thank you for tuning in for this little bit of a long video. Like I said, I'm going to be translating and subbing the Part 2 Story Digest. I'll be talking about more about the game as it comes out and more about the tournament as it does. I always do this afterwards. Hope you enjoyed it. I love you all and see you soon.